Hello everyone, welcome to another Python related tutorial on our channel. In this part we are learning how to create a weather app in Python. First open Google Colab or your favorite Python IDE like Idle or any other IDE that you are using. And since I am using Google Colab, so I am just connecting with the environment. The API that we are going to use is openweathermap.org. So just go to OpenWeatherMap, and from OpenWeatherMap just log into your account. If you don't have an account, you can create an account and you will get your API key. So from here you can go to sign in. Basically OpenWeatherMap provides you forecast on weather data, trend of weather data for different type of locations and current weather and etc. So you can go here, and when you will go to, after logging in, when you will click on API, you will get your API key. Next thing is we will get started with Python. So the first thing that we have to do is import the request library. If you don't have the request library installed, then what you can do is you can write pip install requests. So this will install the request library. If you are if you will try to install something new in Google Colab, then you can write it like this. Otherwise you can open your command prompt if you are doing it in idle. So if you are trying to do it in idle, then in idle you have to open command prompt, and in command prompt you have to write pip install request. So this will, I have actually written a wrong name here, request. Don't forget to put s at the end. You can see requirement already satisfied. So it will simply import the request library. So you can import it like this. Okay. We usually import requests whenever we have to work with URLs, and by URL we mean we have to work with the APIs. Next is you have to define get weather city. So you have to define a function. We are defining a function called get weather, and we are putting city as a argument here or a parameter here. In API key you will provide your API key, and then you have to use the base URL like this. I will provide you the entire code to do this so that you can simply copy the code, but before that you have to understand. Now basically in this particular function, whenever we will provide link of a city, then it is going to pick you know weather of that particular city. Okay, so now define this function and run this. So you can see it is saying requirement already satisfied, because by default it is there in Google Colab, but if it is not, you can do it like that. Now our function is created, but we have to do one more thing. We have to put our API key here. So let me do that. So I am just writing down my API key here, although I am going to remove this API key after this tutorial is complete, but you should replace this with your own API key. Now in this function we have to write some more code. So obviously this is the URL, and then you have, for the API key to work, you have to provide city, your app ID which is API key, and units which is metric. You can use imperial for Fahrenheit if you want to see the temperatures in Fahrenheit, or you can use metric if you want to see in degree Celsius. Now we will write response is equal to request.get and our base URL when added with parameters. So this way you can define your parameters inside a dictionary, and these are the parameters that are required by this particular API. It is basically you will use this, then you will write question mark, and you will write q is equal to, and here you are going to write the name of city, and the second parameter is app ID. In app ID you are going to write this parameter app ID, and then third parameter is units. So you are going to write and whatever units are there. So for example, units is equal to and this value. So I'm just copying it. When you will hit this URL, you will receive the data. You are receiving data for a city. So again, we have to replace this city. Let's say we want to see data of London. So you can see weather, etc. Like name is London, visibility 6000, wind speed, and everything you can see, temperature 8.5, feels like 7.93, and so on. So this is the way. So what we have done here, whatever parameters you have to provide in your URL whenever you are hitting an API, so you can simply do it like this. Now, if response status code is 200, that you are not getting any error, you can see it is 200. So what we are going to get, data will be response.json, that we will write from that output that we are getting, right? So you can see we have different keys like coordinate. In coordinate we have longitude, latitude. Then we have the key weather, where we have this list. In the list we have a dictionary. Then we have another dictionary here, which for temperature, this is main. So in the main dictionary there is another dictionary where we have temperature. So that's what you are seeing here. In city, data name and data main temperature. In weather, because it was a list, so we will write 0 and description, main humidity, etc. Now we will simply run this and our function will be created. Now whenever we are going to run this function, we will get this output. Now just to give users an option to provide city as an input, we will write city is equal to input, enter city name, and weather data will be get weather city. If error in weather data, we will print that error. Otherwise we will print weather in weather city. So from weather data we are going to get all of this information, okay, because here we are preparing a dictionary as an output and we are going to return it. So weather in weather data city. So that's how we are going to get. And now let's see, let's run this. Let's run city and write London as an example, and you can see whether in London temperature is this, condition light rain, humidity 78%. So now you can run this code once again. Let's say this time we want to find Lucknow. You can see temperature is 28.99. So whatever city you will print right here, you will get an output for that city. So this is a simple way of creating a simple weather app in Python.